Russians' DNA taken by foreign agents, Kremlin says. Published October 31, 2017, by BBC. The Kremlin says foreign agents are collecting DNA samples from Russians of different ethnicities and sending the data abroad for scientific analysis. The agents were often working for foreign NGOs, President Vladimir Putin's spokesman Dmitry Peskov said. Mr. Putin told a Russian Human Rights Committee that the DNA collection was systematic and professional. Some scientists quoted in the Russian media speculated that the data could be used in U.S. biological warfare research. A Russian MP close to the Kremlin, Gennady Onishchenko, said new biological security legislation to control access to Russians' DNA should be introduced in December in Parliament. Mr. Onishchenko formerly headed a state agency Rospotrebnadzor that conducts sanitary checks on imported food and drink. The agency imposed temporary bans on certain produce from Georgia and Moldova at times of political tension with Russia. He said foreign labs were analyzing Russians' DNA and restrictions on such research were necessary. Military program. The fact that our citizens' fluids, organs, and tissues are being collected is evidence that the U.S. has not stopped its aggressive military program, he alleged. Earlier, Mr. Putin avoided such speculation about the DNA analysis and simply asked why are they doing this. At the height of the Cold War, both the U.S. and Soviet Union researched lethal biological agents that could be weaponized. Russian geneticist Valery Ilyinsky, quoted by RIA Novosti news agency, said biological warfare specialists might be able to exploit genetic differences between ethnic groups. He said that, for example, about 1% of Europeans had natural resistance to HIV, the virus that triggers AIDS.
Now about bioweapons, because I've been doing a book on it for the past 2.5 years, and you know, the technology that we now have to develop these microbes, we've put hundreds of millions of dollars into ethnically targeted microbes. The Chinese have done the same thing. In fact, COVID-19, there's an argument that it is ethnically targeted. COVID-19 attacks certain races disproportionately. The races that are most immune to COVID-19 are because of the structure of the genetic structure, genetic differentials among different races of the receptors of the ACE2 receptor. COVID-19 is targeted to attack Caucasians and black people. The people who are most immune are Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese. But we don't know whether it was deliberately targeted that or not. But there are papers out there that show the racial and ethnic differential impact to that. We do know that the Chinese are spending hundreds of millions of dollars developing ethnic bioweapons, and we are developing ethnic bioweapons. That's what all those labs in the Ukraine are about. They're collecting Russian DNA, they're collecting Chinese DNA, so that we can target people